Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm either going to be very happy or very disappointed. If you have followed along on my 2007 Jeep Wrangler adventure, you know that we've already put a complete throttle body on it and a throttle pedal with the sensor to include a few other components just for fun. Today the PCM has arrived from ARES Technologies. There were a few other websites or companies that I found online. The other two companies had very bad reviews. This one had decent reviews, and I ordered this on Sunday and I received it on Thursday. So it took about 4 business days to actually arrive, which is extremely fast. They sent it via UPS, and I've got a return label to send the core back. But we are going to put this in the Jeep here in a few minutes, and we're going to find out if this is it. Now, I don't take a PCM job lightly. This will be the second PCM we put in a vehicle. Our 05 Durango definitely needed a PCM. That thing was over 200,000 miles, and it was time for a PCM. You know, I haven't worked on cars professionally for almost 2 decades. So since I went active duty back in 2007. So I would guess that a lot of PCM jobs, probably in the double digits, are unnecessary. You know, people order PCMs and put them in vehicles, and they don't actually need them. It ends up being something else. But at a shop, you're not going to know that because they're going to say, well, it was also something else. It was the computer. It probably needed anyway, and they're going to put it in. I know because I've seen that. I've been there. Not me personally, but I've seen it at the shop, and we were quite a trustworthy shop. But the I'm only about 90% sure that this is the problem. I hope it's it. Obviously, I didn't do a lot of troubleshooting when I said, hey, it's probably the throttle body, and then the replacement throttle body was only about, the first one was only about $60. Not too expensive, so I decided to go ahead and put it in. Then I saw the problem with the throttle pedal and saw the signal dropping from the throttle pedal, and that was a little over $100. So I figured, $111 I think, and I figured what the heck, it was worth it. I could put it in, and again, that wasn't the problem. The signal from the throttle pedal, since this is fly-by-wire, goes from the throttle pedal to the PCM, and then from the PCM to the throttle body or the throttle control. So that throttle control light that keeps coming on is obviously coming on for a problem, and I'm 99% sure that it is that signal that's dropping out from the pedal. But I was 100% sure at the time that it was the throttle body. I was 99% sure that it was the pedal. So my confidence in this is lower. But thinking about this, thinking about what it could be if it wasn't this, what else? What did I not test? Well, it could be a short in the wiring somewhere in the harness between the plug and the PCM. So I thought, could it be the supply voltage, the 5-volt supply coming from the computer to the pedal? But I truly think that 5-volt supply that it gets is probably branched to other components, most likely. And the problem is I don't have a wiring diagram. I tried to find one online. I couldn't find it. I bought the book, and that specific wiring is not included in the wiring diagrams. It doesn't have the throttle pedal for this year, which is weird, and disappointing for the book. But I'm thinking that 5-volt reference signal is going other places, and I tested the 5-volt reference signal on other components, and it doesn't drop. It's fine. And when you pull up other components on the live data on the scanner, it's also fine. So I don't think that the power or the signal coming to the pedal is dropping. Is there a chance? Sure, but I don't think so. The other test I probably could have done is to cut the output wire that runs from the pedal to the PCM, and just completely ran a long jumper from the pedal out around out the door, and then to the PCM that's under the hood. That would have given me and if the signal kept dropping, that would have said, look, it's got to be in the PCM. I don't know what else it could. There was on my short, there was the idea that it could be the oil pressure sensor. I don't know. I don't think that any other sensor underneath the hood would send a bad signal to the PCM that would continually drop out the voltage. I think it's voltage, but the signal from the pedal. I just don't understand how any other sensor could do that. Is it possible? These things have some dumb connections inside of them, and sure, it's probably possible. But the likelihood is small. So again, this costs $325, which is a pretty good price. The others were around $300 for the cheap ones, and then up to like $1,200 for going to other places. I'm sure it'd be more expensive than dealership, and they'd want to put it in. So I'm guessing over $1,000. So here goes PCM loaded into the parts cannon, about to be fired into the 2007 Jeep Wrangler that I'm going to pull through that door here in a few seconds. So wish me luck. You're coming with for this. All right, so R&R of this computer is pretty straightforward. 2 10mm bolts on this side, one on this side, and then disconnect the 4 plugs. Basically simple as that. First thing I'm going to do though is disconnect the battery, just to ensure that I don't get any voltage or cause any voltage issues that may send some voltage into the new computer and damage it. So I'm going to disconnect the battery first. Just like that, the old one is out. These are 8mm bolts, also have a Phillips head on the end, so you could, I guess, just take them out with the screwdriver, but you're not going to get a screwdriver down into this bottom one, so best to use the ratchet. This one's pretty easy. This one here's a little, almost feels like it's cross-threading, but no, it's going in well. So tighten it up and plug this thing back in. And they've nicely color-coded this, so green goes to green, and white goes to white, orange goes to orange. I said orange goes to orange, but there it goes. Here's a little click. Black goes to black. Doesn't have a color, but doesn't need one. And then Chrysler red clips. All right, we are ready for the moment of truth. Hey guys, good news and bad news with the PCM. I'm in the middle of another project. That video will be up shortly on the RV, but well, to start with, I'll just show you the video of me getting in the vehicle and conducting the first test with the scanner. Here you go. All right, so the battery is reconnected, and I've got the scanner here pulled up on the accelerator position, and key on, engine off. I want to make sure it's working well that way first, and we still have drops to 0. So they are a weird uniform. No, not uniform. They were a weird uniform drop, but now it's not. So let's try the pedal. All the way up to full. It dropped there. It dropped again. So now all the way up to full acceleration, and the pedal is dropping. So that signal is still dropping out. But at full, yeah, it's still dropping out. So unless that's normal, the new PCM did not fix that. Let's restart her here. Let me clear the, let's see what fault codes are we still saying. No fault codes, so it has no fault codes. So no codes. Let's start her up. I guess the next thing to do is just to let it run and see if it goes into that limp mode, because maybe that dropping of accelerator pedal position is normal, and this thing still needed a PCM. So yeah, and now it's just consistently dropping, and it's weird. So it didn't necessarily do this consistently like this before, but then it's not consistent. So I can't explain it. So yeah, I don't know, but I do have a scope now, so I could try scoping the old pedal, seeing if the old pedal is causing this in some way, and then I'll try to find an actual wiring diagram for this. But yeah, I'm going to let it run and cross my fingers that it does not drop into the limp mode, and my lightning bolt light, which is not on right now, does not come on. So that's the last thing we can do, is just let it run. All right. So the throttle position signal is still dropping out. It is the next day, and I have driven it a few times. So there's good news layered in this bad news. And the good news is that this Jeep drives better than ever, aside from the ETC light. So the ETC light has come on twice. Right after I scanned it and ran it, or scanned it, I pulled it out of the garage, and I left it sitting in the front yard as I was moving other cars around, doing other things, for 10 or 15 minutes. And the red lightning bolt of death came back. So I turned it off. But I did have to go buy another part from O'Reilly, so I decided to drive it to O'Reilly, which is about 3 or so miles away. Drove it there and back, and it drove flawlessly. No light, no running rough, no limp mode, nothing. So that was last night. And then this morning, I drove it down the highway 3 or 4 miles. It drove great. Turned around, came back, sat at a couple stoplights. It did not go into limp mode. The light did not come on. And I said that it's running better than ever, so that computer did something. It did something. There was a little bit of a rough running, just a rough idle before. It's glass smooth now, so the computer did something for that. And I was planning to rebuild the engine. 150,000 miles is a really good spot to rebuild this engine. Not going to cost a lot of money because there's no main components. I might even be able to get away with not replacing cam bearings. Who knows? I still want to do that soon. But one of the other reasons was I thought the torque converter could be beginning to go out. And I say that because as I'm driving down the road at 55 mile an hour highway speeds, and I let off the gas and I put back on the gas, you feel this weird hesitation, almost like the torque converter is catching, releasing and then catching in a weird way, or like there's something wrong with the drive shaft because it felt like a shutter actually. But that is completely gone. Usually on this highway that I take to work, when cars are not going the speed I like, which is like 12 or 13 miles over, and I'm off the gas and on the gas, between 55 and 60, 65 miles an hour. I would feel that all the time, off the gas and then hitting it again. It's gone. So I'm just gonna drive it some more and see what we get. See if that light goes out, because like I said, the second time it came on, it was when I was backing out of the driveway in reverse after it was sitting. But the other, which is kind of back to how it historically was before it started like doing it in traffic or going down the highway at 70 miles an hour. So I guess I'm just going to drive it a little bit, see if it gets better, see if it clears up, see if it doesn't go away, or see if it's back to kind of its old ways. I do think I need to put a intake manifold gasket on there. I've already bought the kit. It sounds, I'll show it in another video, but it sounds like it's got a leak. I've checked for the leak. I couldn't find one, but it's old and dirty, and that's a really easy job. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll see if that does anything. But maybe I'll test my wife's Jeep, but it's a 2017, to see if her throttle signal drops out. But it's a lot newer vehicle, so it's a lot different. I don't think it'll do that, or it even has the same configuration or wiring to the computer. But it's worth a shot because it's still a JK. So yeah, I'll try that. If it's worth adding to the end of this video, I'll add it to the end of the video. If not, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along on this journey. I'm going to figure this out. If that is a problem and that light keeps coming on, I will figure this out. But right now, I can't fix it. I will, though. I will commit to fixing it, even if I have to take the engine apart, rip the wiring apart, take the dashboard apart. It's not above me. I will do it. So wish me luck. Like and subscribe so you can find out in the next few months if I get this thing fixed. I mean, I've got about a month before I leave for 4 to 6 weeks overseas, and then I'll come back again, and I've got to have some surgery, and then I'll. But the surgery's not going to stop me from working on vehicles. It's my foot, so we'll be good. But yeah, like and subscribe, stick around, and the Jeep journey it hasn't just begun, but we're on the journey, and eventually I'll be off the journey. But let me get back to this project, and get this eventually posted for those who like RV stuff. And yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. See you soon. Okay, guys, so I'm in my wife's 2017 Jeep Wrangler JK, and I have key on, engine off, and I have the scanner connected, and this one also has a signal drop out and loss in the throttle pedal. So even at full pedal, it's dropping out. So I guess with the throttle pedal and maybe the computer, I was chasing a bit of a red herring. But again, it's running great. The computer has fixed something. So yeah, I've got one more thing to fix or try, and maybe it'll work. But again, yeah, this is a 2017 Wrangler that does not have the ETC light on and runs great. So yeah, that's weird.